Alright, back again, Luke here, and today what I wanted to do is show you guys some repairs that I've been doing here to this Geo AES. Kind of help you guys out with some problems if you're having any trouble with your Geo AES system. This one here is really beyond beyond repair until I get a new edge connector here. I wound up picking up another AES recently, and I got another one sitting here. I got an extra one, but I picked this one up for what I thought was going to be a reasonable price here for what the problems were with it, but it's wound up turning into something way more than I expected. When I originally picked this thing up, the guy said that it didn't get any power, and he didn't have a power cable for it, so I thought, okay, well, that's not such a big deal. I got a power cable here, and I tried to hook it up, and as soon as I hooked it up, the game wouldn't turn on. It was just a bunch of glitchy graphics. So the first thing I did is I took this thing apart, and I took a look at the edge connector, and I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but this thing has been mangled really bad. As you can see, somebody has tried to play with these pins a lot. What I tried to do is try to straighten some of these things out, but these things are really bad, and it does need a new edge connector. Fortunately, I was able to get the games to play, but what I had to do is I had to put these shims, these are just temporary here, but I put these shims in because if you put the game down all the way, it won't read it. It has to kind of be raised up just a little bit, so these shims help keep it just a little bit up, and it'll play most games now. But several problems that this board had when I got it. First, with the edge connector, it took me several hours here to try and fix this connector to try and get it so it would play at least one game. This is something that I recommend if you guys have one of these Geo AES's and you're having some problems. You know, first, just don't mess with this edge connector, because this is a really kind of temperamental and really specifically designed from the factory to have a certain tension to it. And if you start messing with these pins, like pushing them down like you would on a regular one-slot cartridge game, you'll wind up bending them out of shape, and it'll just cause a lot of problems. So whatever you do, don't mess with this. Cleaning it is okay, but don't try and adjust these pins. It's just one or two pins will throw the whole game off. But what I was able to do is I was able to get this thing to read one game, and as soon as the game came up, it came up in black and white. So I was thinking, okay, great, what is wrong with this? So I tried to adjust this pot over here and see if I could get the what is it, the sync or the colors to adjust, because this area here controls the color on the board, and I got nothing. So the next thing I did is I took out the crystal, and this is the original crystal that was in there, and I took that crystal out, and there was no change. And what I found was, you know, by not having any change, it probably meant that this crystal was bad. So what I did is I chopped the crystal out, and I didn't really have any spare parts, but I was looking around my Double Dragon 2 board, my old one, and I found the exact same crystal. As you can see down here, the crystal rating, and this is the same crystal for it. So I chopped that out and kind of soldered that in there temporarily, and was able to get the video to play through, but no sound. So I went back over here to this edge connector to see what pins might be off, and no matter what I did for adjustments, I still couldn't get any sound. What I found with the sound issue was over here, probably not going to be able to see it, well, right there, there was a burnt out trace right here next to this chip here, right underneath the Z80, and I replaced that. I just kind of put a small trace on there, and I was able to get the sound back. But if you guys are experiencing any problems with these boards, I know that each one may have a different symptom, and this may not help out everyone, but if you're having some video issues, maybe the game isn't playing at all, what I recommend is trying to clean this. Maybe you could use a credit card and a really thin towel or a really thin rag, kind of like an old t-shirt, and kind of go along here with some rubbing alcohol on the t-shirt and go inside these pins and try and clean them out. Don't go through here and try and bend the pins, but that'll probably get you some kind of video back. And if you're having sound issues, what this one did at first is there were actually two wires here that were burnt out. I replaced one wire and I was only getting background music. I wasn't getting any of the sounds for the speaking parts on Samurai Spirits. I wasn't getting any of it on King of Fighters 98. And after I replaced that second one, then the voice came back. So if you guys are having problems with missing channels, you might want to check this area around here and see if you can find any burnout traces. On another board, this is a totally different board, but on another board, when I turned the power on, it just kept flickering on and off, and it wouldn't play the game at all. It just kept click, 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 and I found a burnt trace here between these two chips here, 43256. Between these two here, there is a burnt trace right here, the one that goes on an angle, and I replaced that on another board, and that actually got the game to start up. So if your game's not starting up, that's something else I recommend. On another Neo Geo AES, the screen was actually mirrored, or it was actually cut in half, and you could see the words on the top and you could see the words on the bottom, so it was split in half. And what I found on another board was that up here, on this chip here, there were actually some corroded legs that were up at the top here, and I was able to clean those out very carefully with a brush and on the other board, and I was able to get it to work right after that. So these are some different things that might help you out with your Neo Geos. For missing color, I recommend replacing this crystal here, and you can adjust this pot here. You know, don't crank it up too high, just try and get it to where the color, you know, stays, and that'll probably fix your color issues if you're just having black and white. If you're having a screen that's cut into two and it looks like it's just replicating itself, like double, I would recommend checking over here on this chip and trying to clean these legs off here. If you got missing sound or missing sound effects, from what I found here, it was the traces here on 6116, this chip here. There were some traces bad here. If your unit's just clicking and it's not turning on, like I said, I found a missing trace here. So that was burned out there on a different board. But these were some things that I figured out. For this board here, it's almost ready to go. I need to, however, find a new cart connector for it. This thing's definitely going to have to come out. Although it does play some games now, it won't play all games. And some good examples of that. Let me see, I don't know if this thing will fire on first time or not, but I got some different games here. And normally, like I said, I put those shims in there so it would kind of stop the game from going all the way up. We'll see if it turns on or not. It's working with World Heroes. So you can see World Heroes works. We'll turn this one off. Pull this out. Try King of Fighters 98. This one might take a couple of times to get in there, I'm not sure. It might not turn on first time. Oh, I guess it is. As you can see, the color works and everything. And in this game here, the sound effects, like the static in the background, like the static of the screen, and that speaking sound, all of the speaking was missing because of this wire here, that trace that was burned out. And let's see what else. Let's see if Samurai Spirits fires up first time or not. Oh, it looks like it's gonna. But as you can see, that that connector there is, I mean, it's really rough. This thing's got some really bad issues with that. But this one's turning on. I'll show you a game that it's not going to play, and that is it won't play Viewpoint and it won't play Last Resort. These are two games that it just refuses to play, and you know, it uses every single connector on here, and like I said, because of the imbalance on these things and the bad points on it, this is all it's going to do. And no matter how many times I try and reseat this thing, it will refuse to play it. So that's what I'm dealing with here. You know, the single play, I tried it out with a bunch of different games. Played, I don't know, like 10 or 15 games, but it wouldn't play Last Resort, and it wouldn't play Viewpoint. But just to show you that the game does work, I'll try and take these plugs off here and plug them into this other Neo Geo. And let's see if I can get the cord in here. Yeah, as you can see, I mean, it fires right on with the other one, but this one does have some issues there with that connector, and yeah, if I can get a new connector for it, it'll be perfect, it'll work fine. But the current way that it is, or the current situation, this thing's only going to play a certain amount of games. I don't know what that's limited to, but I know that it won't play Last Resort, and it won't play Viewpoint, definitely. It will play my Sonic Wings game and things like that, but I figured I'd show you guys this in case you guys are having any trouble with these machines, or you know, if you're having any idea of, or you don't want to you know, try and ship it off and see if somebody else can fix it. If it's a simple problem that you can fix on your own, figured I'd try and help you guys out as much as possible. But yeah, it's what I'm with or working with right now at this time. But I don't know, maybe I'll just have to you know, get rid of it, and somebody who has a another edge connector and feels like messing around with this thing have another home for this this monster, because like I said, I got a couple of them now, got a couple of extra ones, so I'll try and figure out what I'll do with this one here. But just want to show you guys a little bit of what I'm working on here, and that's about all for me for right now. Like always, I'll put up another video here soon, so thanks for watching.